A pregnant woman was lying on the bed with a big belly and was about to go to bed. Suddenly, the vibration of the cup next to her caused her to faint. Before the woman could react, the whole building began to shake violently. This is obviously a sign of an earthquake. The woman, who realized something was wrong, rushed toward the escape route and ran away. But because there were too many residents, she couldn't squeeze through it all. In addition, there were constantly broken stones on her head. The pregnant woman was finally crushed alive under the ruins. At the same time, the husband who just got off work saw that. There were constantly survivors running out of the ruins, but he didn't find his wife's voice. So he ran straight into the ruins, regardless of the danger. After a long search, he found that his wife was dead under a stone. Her breathing became very weak. With the help of rescuers, he sent his wife to a local hospital. But because the injury was too serious, the doctor said that the woman and the baby in her belly could only be saved. He had to make a decision. Your baby. After a long struggle, the man finally chose his wife. But as expected, when the doctor returned to the operating room, the woman was no longer breathing. But the baby in her belly survived. 12 years later, the man took his daughter to another city to settle down. He didn't marry again, but chose to raise his daughter alone. On this day, Vector drove Angela to a nearby school, as usual. But he didn't expect an accident to happen at night. The school said that after school, Angela and another female student got into the woods behind the mountain and lost the news. They had already called the police. Unconsciously, Vector hurried to join the parents of another girl to search the mountains day and night. But he didn't get any clues for 3 days. He only found a few unlit candles on the ground. What Vector didn't expect was that 3 days later, the police suddenly found his daughter Angela. But the strange thing is that the other party looked at her as if she were possessed by a demon, and as if she had lost her memory. She didn't know what happened these 3 days. It only felt like a few hours had passed. Maybe you've been gone 3 days. At first, Vector didn't care. He just thought that his daughter might have been frightened. So he and the parents of another girl decided to take the children out of the hospital and take them home to rest. On the first night back home, Vector found something wrong with Angela. When he came to the bed to deliver breakfast, he smelled a smell of urine. When he came closer, he didn't expect that it was his daughter who peed on the bed last night. When he woke up Angela in her sleep, he didn't know anything. The next night, Angela suddenly covered Vector's head with a scarf and threw it hard on the ground. Then she kept shaking and her mouth was covered with dirt. When he woke up Angela in her sleep, he didn't know anything. The next night, Angela suddenly covered Vector's head with a scarf and threw it hard on the ground. Then she kept shaking and her mouth was covered with dirt. At the same time, the girl who went missing with him, Xiaomei, also became strange. Every weekend, her parents would come to the church to listen to the priest's sermon. But what they didn't expect was that Xiaomei suddenly walked in the direction of the priest as if she were possessed by a demon. She kept talking about her body and blood in her mouth. The parents, who noticed that something was wrong, hurried to control Xiaomei and sent her to the hospital. Unexpectedly, they happened to run into Vector here. The same strange thing happened to the two girls. This made them have to believe in the possibility of the devil's body. Back home, Vector searched the internet for a lot of news about the Exorcist. From the video, he met an exorcist named Chris. His daughter had also been possessed by the devil. He was the one who exorcised the devil. So Vector decided to visit Chris in person and hope he could help himself. Unexpectedly, Chris agreed to the request. Following Vector to the hospital, Chris saw Angela's first sight and judged that she was 100% possessed by the devil. But because she was locked up in the hospital, she couldn't perform the exorcism. So Vector took Chris to another girl, Xiaomei's house. Unexpectedly, the first time they met the devil in the girl's body called out Chris's name. It turned out that he was the devil in Chris's daughter's body. At that time, he was subdued by Chris once. This time, he won't die so easily.